Welcome to Business Math and Personal Finance. Today I'm going to be going over the Chapter 3 review exercise, which is in your Practical Math Applications book, page 121. I'll go over 2 to 3 of each of the sections, A, B, C, D, so on, and then that'll leave you some that you can work on your own to make sure that you have a good understanding of how to do it. Before we get started, I'd just like to review over and think about some of the things that we already know. This will go back to our learning strategies of making sure that we pull in our basic understanding of things before we get started, because the more we know about a subject, the easier it is to learn new things. When we talk about percents, one of the things that most people already know is that if I say I have one of something, what's wrong with my pen? If I say that I have one of something, then that means I have 100% of something. So just from this alone tells me a lot of things. It tells me that if I am using the number rather than the percent, just the regular number, that it is smaller than when I use the percent. It's actually 2 decimal places difference in the 1 and the 100%. So using this, if I forget whether I'm supposed to move it 2 places to the left or 2 places to the right, I can always make sure that I write this at the top of my paper, and it'll tell me if I'm going from number to percent, I'll move it 2 places to the right. If I'm going from percent to number, I'll move it 2 places to the left. So just thinking about some of the things that we know makes it easier to come up with those items and remembering those items and tricks to do the way that we maybe don't know yet. Let's go ahead and get started on Part A. Part A tells us to change the following percents to decimal. 15.5% to a decimal. When I'm going from percent to decimal, I'll move it 1, 2 places to the left. So I will move 1, 2 places to the left. So 0.155. That's number 1. Now let's do number 2. Number 2, I have 17.2%. I'm going from percent to decimal. So from percent to decimal, I move my decimal 1, 2 places to the left. So, excuse me, I come down and move 1, 2 places to the left. That makes my answer 0.172. Okay, now let's take a look at number 7. Anytime we have a fraction, 5/8, this little line right here is the same thing as divide. So if I have 5/8, it means the exact same thing as 5 divided by 8. When I take 5 and divide it by 8, it gives me a decimal. So let me pull up my calculator. And 5 divided by 8 equals 0.625. So it's 0.625%. Now, if I had 5/8 of a percent, I know that that means the exact same thing as 5 divided by 8. So I actually have 0.625 of a percent. Now when I go from percent to decimal, I move my decimal 2 places, 1, 2, to the left. Here's my decimal, so 1, 2, 2 places to the left. My answer will be equals 0.00625. Okay, that gives you some that you can do on your own. And then if you have any other trouble with it, please be sure to get in contact with me, send me an email, and we can go over it in more detail.